Imagine a boy priest from Syria, crowned emperor of Rome at 14, worshipping a foreign god, drowning guests in petals, and demanding to be called both emperor and empress. His name was Elagabalus, and his story is one of scandal, ritual, and betrayal, ending in a latrine, erased from history. He was born in Emesa, Syria, not as a soldier or politician, but as a priest. His name was Varius Avitus Bassianus, later remembered as Elagabalus. From childhood he served the god Gabal, represented by a sacred black stone. This deity, linked to the sun and fertility, was worshipped with incense, music, and ritual dance. The boy priest stood at the altar crowned with garlands, leading ceremonies that blended mysticism with spectacle. When Rome assassinated Emperor Caracalla, the empire fell into chaos. Elagabalus's grandmother, Julia Mesa, seized the moment. She spread a rumor. The boy was Caracalla's secret son. Caracalla, brutal, feared but adored by the army, had left a legacy of loyalty. The soldiers believed the claim. At 14, Elagabalus was declared Caesar. Macrinus, the reigning emperor, was defeated. Rome had a new ruler, a Syrian priest king. But Elagabalus did not come to preserve Rome. He came to transform it. He carried the black stone of Gabal into the capital. He built a grand temple on the Palatine Hill. He forced senators to bow before his god, declaring Gabal supreme over Jupiter. Rome's traditions were overturned. The empire's heart now beat to the rhythm of a foreign sun god. Inside the palace, rituals became theater. Banquets overflowed with roses. Petals poured from ceilings until guests suffocated beneath their weight. Animals were sacrificed in hidden chambers. Incense filled the halls, and the emperor himself danced in crimson robes. The palace was no longer a seat of power, but a stage of divine excess. Elagabalus's identity blurred the lines of tradition. He married multiple times, including a Vestal Virgin, a sacred taboo. He called himself both emperor and empress. He asked surgeons to perform castration, offering fortunes for success. He lived openly with male lovers and demanded to be addressed with feminine titles. To Rome, this was scandal. To Elagabalus, it was truth. But the empire was watching. The Senate seethed. The Praetorian Guard whispered rebellion. Even Julia Maesa, the grandmother who had raised him to power, began to plot his downfall. In the end, betrayal came not in battle but in shame. The boy emperor was dragged into a latrine, strangled by the very guards who once hailed him. His body was mutilated, dragged through the streets and thrown into the Tiber. No tomb, no honor, only silence. History remembers Elagabalus as a scandal, a grotesque tale of excess. But beneath the silk and incense was a boy, a priest who tried to merge East and West, a dreamer who sought to live beyond Rome's rigid boundaries. Was he mad, or was he centuries ahead of his time? The empire chose to erase him, yet his story endures, whispered in shadows, painted in scandal, remembered as the emperor who dared to be different. And in that difference lies the question Rome could never answer. What happens when a god, a boy, and an empire collide?